Can't keep doing this. Last night I went to the grocery store. 2 bags of groceries. $72. This morning I stopped and filled up my tank. $60. I just put gas in it 2 days ago. I do drive a little bit to work, but no matter what you do, you got nothing. No matter how hard you work, no matter how early you go in, no matter how much you make, you got nothing. At the end of the week, you got nothing. Can't afford a house. Can't afford food. Can't afford utilities. Every time you go to the store, a bag of chips is like $6 or $7. A loaf of bread, $5. Gallon of milk, $5. The only thing that's fucking cheap is a dozen eggs. I've been thinking about living off eggs. Have an egg for breakfast, have a hard-boiled egg for lunch, and have a fucking omelet with no cheese for dinner. It seems like everybody in the world has nothing. But why are the people in government so rich? I heard a theory the other day, and he said that, what if everybody in government made minimum wage for a year? Would things change? I don't know. They probably fucking suffer for a year, but then they probably go right back to being the same way they were before. Nobody's got nothing. Elderly got nothing. You see old people at the gas station trying to buy gas, and you can see it in their eyes. They got nothing. Young kids just out of college, they got nothing. You can't afford a house. Everybody's got nothing. And it's not fucking cool anymore. It's never been cool, but everyone's at the end of their rope. I'm at the end of my rope. I don't know what to do. No matter what you do, no matter how much you make, it's not enough. Because you still got fucking nothing.
Filled up the gas tank, got a 12-pack and a burrito, $123. Why am I still in this country? I'm not sure. $123 USD in Mexico, that's a used Toyota Camry. Adios.
And stop blaming people for the way the economy is. We don't need to cut back on nothing else. We done cut back on everything. There's nothing else left. It's just not enough. Y'all telling me that now it's the car note. Nah, your car note might probably too high. Bro, I have a Kia. My shit's only $400 something. The insurance only like $150. I can't get it no lower. That's as low as it's gonna go, bro. It's the economy. It's nothing that I'm doing. I'm not buying nothing extra. I'm not taking flights. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not overspending on lunch, luxuries, goods, nothing. Everything just too high. It's not enough money in circulation. Make the prices go down. That's what it fixes. It's not nothing I'm doing.
Let's talk about high rent prices and low wages in South Carolina. Rent is so high living in South Carolina, I don't even understand how anybody is affording anything at this point in time. Like, people supposed to be come here to retire, right? Everybody's moving from New York, New Jersey, Michigan, Ohio, and whatnot. I'm trying to figure out where the money at, right? I make $2,000 a month, and not including what I do for side jobs. My rent currently is $2,000 a month for a 3-bedroom that doesn't even have ceiling lights. I had to buy my own lamps when I moved in here to light up my rooms. The living room, the kitchen, the hallway, and the bathrooms are the only rooms inside my apartment that have lights on them. But I'm supposed to be living in luxury, right? How is anybody affording anything when the wages are staying the exact same, but the rent prices continue to go up in South Carolina, right? I'm not understanding how any of this is supposed to work. So if anybody has any input, I would gladly appreciate you telling me what's up. I don't want to hear work harder, because I work hard every single day. It's impossible ever since this no tax on overtime, the one thing that I've noticed at the jobs that I've been at, they don't let you reach overtime. You feel what I'm saying? As soon as you get close to reaching overtime, they send you home. And if there's not enough work in other jobs, they send you home. That's the case with my wife. We're supposed to be making at least close to $4,300 a month. We should be able to afford where we're staying at. We don't really have any extra expenses. I mean, I do smoke, but I only get maybe like 2 packs a week, right? But they send her home early half the time. And then we got to try to make that up on the back end because we're not reaching full-time hours when we're supposed to be reaching full-time hours. Why isn't there some type of law or whatever in place that if you are full-time, it's mandatory for you to reach your full-time hours unless you either call out sick, have some form of an emergency situation where you have to leave and go home? We should not be able to be sent home early when we sign a contract to be on for full time. Again, I'm not really sure how most of this work. If you know how most of this work, then please let me know what's up, because right now I'm at a loss. Especially when you have a family, right? Me, myself, I have a family of 6. How am I supposed to afford $2,000 a month rent while supporting a family of 6 when we can't get overtime? The wages are completely stagnant. We're constantly getting sent home early and everything else. How are we supposed to be doing this? Like, we have our governor's race that's coming up here in November is when we're supposed to be selecting our new governor. Henry McMaster is out. Whoever this governor is that's coming in for November needs to put this to the forefront. One of the main issues, the fact that we are in supposedly a booming economy. Where's the money and where's the jobs? The only jobs you see in South Carolina, they either administrative, manufacturing, or some type of health practitioner. That's it. Any place else, anything else, unless you get more towards Rock Hill, towards North Carolina, there's no jobs here that you can really get into that will allow you to support yourself, because everything around here is so freaking high. Where are the jobs? Where are the jobs? We talk about education, but if I got to work 2 jobs with a family of 6 while I'm sitting here drowning, how can we manage trying to get some form of a skill, or to try to do something, go to college, or even do online college and try to make that work when you have all these other responsibilities to take care of? But they'll tell you, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Yeah. Okay. So what we need to do, we got options here. Lower the rent prices and raise the wages, or lower the rent prices and keep the wages the same, and you just go ahead and move ahead, do what you gotta do while you're able to afford to live. Bro, everything has been cut off. You gotta pay more money for daycare, bro. Like, half the paycheck is going towards daycare. You know what I'm saying? So what do you mean? What do you mean? If we stay home with the kids, we don't work, we don't make any money. Bro, that's it, bro. Because if I keep going, I'm gonna go in. Let me know if you feel the same. Drop a comment down in the comment box. Like the video. Communicate with me. Let me know what's going on. We need help out here. If anybody got any information or insight, please let me know. Again, this is South Carolina. I would love for the community of South Carolina to get on here and comment, because we got to do something about this, bro. I don't know how anybody is living in this supposed booming economy. Ain't nothing working out. God bless.
So burned out, they're just lazy. It's like, no, they're working 40 hours a week, but at the end of the month, they have nothing to show for it. So if you're not making any progress and you look back 5 years and go, damn, I made $300,000 in the last 5 years, or I made $400,000 in the last 5 years, and I have nothing. If anything, I have $25,000 in debt. That's going to create burnout because you feel like you just put in 5 years of work and have nothing to show for it. And we still have people blaming them that, well, the reason you're broke is because of the coffee. It's like, no, it's the 25% inflation that we've faced that just destroyed people's spending power. It's the 30% increase in rent prices where people are spending 40% of their money on rent. You're still being taxed 20, 25, 30%. People just don't have any money. People aren't having kids. They're not being able to start families. People are struggling financially, fighting financially. Relationships are suffering. This is all decline in living standards. You realize millennials with degrees are living with roommates into their 30s, not having kids? How do you have a Thanksgiving in a 900 square foot apartment? How do you have a dog and go play in the backyard and make memories with your kids? I was living in an apartment complex just 2.5 years ago. Tons of kids. They may do, but they're all playing on the cement floors in the hallway because they don't have a yard. Because houses are $400,000. Humans are good at adapting, but there's a fine line between adapting and being taken advantage of, and I think we're being taken advantage of.
We were sold a lie. We were told that if we go to college, we get a better education, and we just work really hard, we could have the American dream. That's just not the case anymore. That's not the case anymore. I did that. I got a better education. I got a job that's supposed to be good. I worked hard. And honestly, I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life. And I'm probably the brokest I've ever been. Inflation is out of control. Inflation is the problem. Our wages are not keeping up with the cost of living. Gas is $5 a gallon. Rent is astronomical. Forget buying a fucking house. It's not possible. Groceries, take out a loan. Take out a fucking loan if you want to buy groceries on a monthly basis. And I have a child, so I have to buy groceries on almost a weekly basis, if not, maybe every 2 weeks. It's just bullshit. We can't keep doing things the way that our parents, our grandparents did things. We have to change something. Something has to change.
It is trash. It's trash. It's been, for me, it will be almost a year in July. I keep revamping the resumes, making connections, talking to people. And I tell you, sometimes it has me like, maybe it's just you. Maybe you just suck. Then I remember, no, no, it's not me. It's the system. I stand by that. I stand by that. What we're looking at right now is another change. I feel like what we're watching is another change in what it is to just exist. What quality of life is going to look like as we move forward in America, because the whole structure, everything has changed. And I know for me, honestly, I'm going to tell you honestly, I feel like I'm looking for a job so I can have some fake sense of safety. That's how I feel like. I feel like I'm looking for a job to have some fake sense of safety, because we all know a job ain't safe. At any moment when they want to get rid of you, they just gonna get rid of you. Ain't really nothing you could do about that. It is what it is, right? That's a part of the game, right? And I feel like I've been looking for a job because to me, a job says safety, even if it's just a little bit of safety, right? But it ain't safe at all. And many times I feel like the universe is like, you want to go the safe route. We're not even going to allow that shit. There's another path that you can take, and you're going to take that path, whether you want to take it or not. It's by hook or by crook, but you're going to take it. That's what I'm feeling like has been happening for my life for the last couple of months, specifically. Like, no matter what it is that I want to do, no matter what it is that the path that I want to take, the universe is saying, we got a direction for you that you need to go in, that you've been resistant on doing for a long time. And that's it. We done playing with you. You're going to do it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to lean all in on me, because this system that we've had up until this point I thought I had some safety in it, and it was never any safety in it. It was just a place for me to hide from the very things and the very life that I've always wanted anyway. So no more hiding. Time to make that shit happen.
Anytime someone is struggling financially, there's always that one person that has to say, oh, you tried giving up the Starbucks. Oh, have you tried cooking at home? And I often wonder if these people realize that rents are $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And yeah, you could move somewhere where the rent is cheaper, but most of those places don't have any industry. There's no jobs. So then when you're trying to get to work from those places and the places that do have the jobs, your car is going to break down. And now you have to pay for those expenses because we don't have good transportation here in the entire country. We don't even have high-speed rail yet. Not to mention, childcare is like $300 a week. And the jobs pay like $17 an hour, and they want you to have like 6 years experience and a master's degree. Utility prices have gone up insane. Mobile phones have like 17 different charges that I don't even know what the heck all those charges are. Colleges are overcharging, so you have to get a loan to even be able to afford to go to school to try to make your life better. And don't get me started on insurance companies, medical insurance companies, especially if you have some type of illness. You have to pay all these co-pays. You have to fight with them on things they may not even cover. So now you have medical bills. And dental insurance is absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, of course you can cook at home if you can even afford the price of food. And all sorts of corporations are getting greedier and greedier. If you live in an HOA, the HOA is trying to nickel and dime you for everything. If you live in a mobile home community, guess what? They're going up on the rents too and charging more than mobile homes have ever cost before. And I could literally go on and on and on for like an hour, but I just want to say this. If in the midst of all of this that people are going through, they want to have a drink, a little sweet treat, let them have that. Like, people are suffering enough. If there is any joy that they can get from maybe treating themselves sometimes, they have a right to that. Like, if I'm broke, can I at least have some joy in my life? Jeez.
Honestly, more and more, I talk to people every day. Everyone is tired. Everyone is just burnt out and tired, and just kind of wondering how we're supposed to keep going on like this. And I'm kind of like, you want me to pay bills and keep carrying on like everything is normal right now? All I can do is drink a Baja Blast and ignore all of my problems. That's really it.
TikToks every fucking day about unemployment, bro. Do y'all know how it fucking feels to apply for a job that you're not even 2 fucking minutes away from by walk? I can see my job right now from my fucking house. I've been rained on trying to get this fucking job. I called them earlier. They're like, yeah, I can do an interview for you fucking today. Come back at 5 o'clock. It's 5:30 right now. I go to this job. Why the fuck is it so hard to get a job to the point where I'm literally standing there for 10 fucking minutes getting rained on at the fucking job? Just for these niggas to look at me through the fucking window, watching me getting rained on, and to tell me to come back tomorrow. Do y'all know how many times I've had to wait for tomorrow to come, and these motherfuckers will still not hire me? It is the worst fucking day possible. It has never rained this bad, and I feel like my prayers are never getting answered. To just get a fucking job. To the point where it's raining so fucking hard, all my clothes are wet. Talk about unemployment. Talk about how hard it is to get a fucking job. Asking God, begging God to fucking help me. Just to keep getting shut down over and over again. And yes, nigga, I'm making a fucking TikTok about it because there's nothing else for me to do. I spend all my fucking days sitting at the fucking house doing nothing. Doing absolutely nothing. So yes, this is a fucking mental breakdown on my fucking phone. Because of how hard it is out here. I'm a fucking college student. I pay my own fucking tuition. And it is still hard to get a fucking job out here. It don't make no fucking sense. Just to get rained on. While praying to God about finding me a job so I can provide for myself. So yes, I see everybody posting about how hard it is to get a fucking job. Look at me getting rained on. After this company just told me, oh yeah, we got you at an interview, come back in 30 minutes. I'm here at your door every day. My job is so close, this job is so close to my house. I am looking right at it from my house right now. Talk about being overqualified. Talk about not being qualified enough. I can see y'all from my house. That is how close I am to y'all. But y'all sit here and go through these applications and swear to God I'm not qualified. When I am right here, coming up every day, asking for a job. I've never done this. I've never captured so much fucking emotion, but y'all have no idea how hard it is out here to support yourself. This shit is absolutely fucking crazy. I'm at home every fucking day with my siblings that come home from school. Doing content creation, hoping to God I can just get the fuck out of here. Hoping to God I can support myself. And I would fucking be damned if no matter what I do, nothing is working. This shit is fucking ridiculous, y'all. To sit there waiting to cross the street and getting splashed on by cars constantly. Talk about being underqualified or overqualified or unemployed. This is the fucking worst times I've ever lived in. Just to pay for my fucking tuition and go back to school. Just to pay off this debt. Because I have to constantly take out my fucking Cash App borrow feature to fucking eat. Because I don't have any fucking money. Talk about struggle. Talk about being underqualified and unemployed. This is the fucking struggle right here.
Y'all, we are so everything is going to hell. I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. Everything is going to hell. We're getting scammed. Whether it's these bills going up and up, scam. Insurance is a fucking scam. These restaurants are price gouging us out of food, so we ain't gonna be able to buy food no more. We're gonna have to depend on food pantries. Yeah, and income to debt, the income to debt ratio is doing nothing right now but widening.
I don't think it's clicking for a lot of people that the cost of our basic necessities is starting to outpace our paychecks. Gas, utilities, groceries, property tax, rent. It's all adding up. Even if you had a good job and it paid for all those things before, it's no longer relevant. People are going into debt just to cover their basic necessities.
Americans are going broke just trying to survive right now, to the point that people can't even afford to eat. 25% of Americans say they've skipped meals recently just to cover monthly expenses, which I thought was bad until I read a third of people surveyed say they've skipped medical treatment to focus on bills. Skipped going to the doctor. But it's all part of a growing debt crisis in America. More than 100 million people carry credit card debt and can't pay it off. And honestly, it's hard to blame them when the average interest rate sits at 24%. And while you're drowning in debt, a new study estimates that banks have collected $2.1 trillion in credit card interest since 2010. At some point, the irresponsible spending narrative has to give way to the fact that modern life just isn't affordable anymore.
Hey, it's Twig, and I posted a video about how you cannot buy the ingredients for spaghetti at $7.25, which is the federal minimum wage. And after an hour's worth of work, it's still not enough to pay for the ingredients to make basic spaghetti. 3 ingredients: noodles, sauce, and beef. I made a video about how you can't afford it on a minimum wage salary or wage. And there's already people in the comments talking about how, oh, well, you went to Trader Joe's. That's one of the most expensive grocery stores. You didn't need to get meat. You could have made spaghetti without having any meat in it. You can go to the grocery store. You can use coupons. You can, if this is the point, they're walking right around it. The point is not that you can find these ingredients cheaper if you look somewhere else. The point is that these ingredients shouldn't be this expensive to begin with. And the federal minimum wage should be way higher than $7.25. Because regardless of where you're getting these ingredients, you should be able to make spaghetti by purchasing noodles, sauce, and a protein for minimum wage. An hour's worth of work at $7.25 should be enough for you to get basic ingredients to make spaghetti. And if you're arguing, go somewhere cheaper, use a coupon, go to the dollar store, get the off-brand, find a cheaper grocery store, you are missing the point, my friend.
Rough morning. So I'm only making this video because I don't want any other single parent, one income families to do what I did. Around Christmas time, to be able to afford presents, my apartment complex, you pay your rent through an app. Really not that serious. I think it's because I'm getting ready to start my period. That's why I'm so emotional. Allow you to do the Livable app where you can like make payments. What it does is it takes the whole rent out at the beginning of the month and then you pay the 3 payments back, or 2 payments, however you set it up. Once I started it and did it the one time, I could never get out of the cycle of using it. I couldn't get out of the cycle of paying it because I didn't have enough each paycheck, if that makes sense. I don't get my paycheck on Fridays until like 11 at night. So I make my payment at 11. Well, it doesn't process until the next Monday. So this rent paycheck, I haven't even paid rent yet. It's the 6th. So now I'm getting the $50 late fees. So I messaged the Livable app because it's not letting me pay my May rent. And so I messaged them yesterday and I'm like, look, it says it's still processing, but it came out of my bank account. Like, how do I make the payment today so that I don't get the late fees? And she's like, oh, well, the window will be open until the 8th. You'll be good. So I go to pay it today. Well, because there's a late fee, it won't let me use the Livable app. I don't even have enough from my paycheck to pay my rent. $100 short on rent, which my mom has sent me Venmo, but I also use SoFi banking, which I love SoFi, but I can't transfer my money from Venmo to my SoFi. So I processed my rent payment, which I know is going to get denied because I highly doubt they're going to let me overdraft $100. I literally have no money for the next 2 weeks. I'm just so mad at myself for putting myself in this position. Like, I knew the day was going to come where I was going to have to just pay rent out of one paycheck so that way I could get out of the whole being stuck in this cycle of paying that Livable thing. Don't do the buy here, pay here apps. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. Okay, love you, bye.
Do I get ignored by an AI picking website thing on this website or this website, or do I do it directly on their website? Who knows? Why do you double care that I'm not Mexican? It's kind of weird that you made me answer that question twice. No, I'm not a veteran. 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 Where do I see myself in 5 years? Well, teetering on the brink of being alive. They said get a degree. They said go to college. They said that there'd be jobs for you out there. No. I sent 125 applications out on Indeed, and I heard back from 2, and there were automated messages telling me I didn't get the job.
I applied for a couple of retail jobs just to get, just to have some sort of income because, I don't exactly think I'm going to get a corporate job tomorrow, so I have to prepare. And I walk into the store and they're like, oh, we're actually not hiring. And I'm like, then why do you have the position on your website? I applied on Sunday. What's going on? If you're not hiring, take that shit off your page. Don't waste my fucking time.
Need to be more honest about the current state of this economy and the job market because not enough of us are actually sharing the truth. I'm going to tag the creator who inspired me to even share my point of view on the topic. It's Casanova Brown. So go to his page and watch his video because he shares a really honest perspective about this topic. And what he essentially was saying is that the current state of the job market is essentially manufactured. Like this whole thing around job scarcity and so many people in the job market can't find jobs. Like they're going 6 months, 1 month, 2 years, just a really long time, longer than usual that people are going without a job. The person that always say with a job, they ain't got one. You know what I mean? So that's where it's a problem. And based on what I can see, I can tell you a few things. And I think I'm going to give you 3 main points. And the first one's going to be this. I agree with the job scarcity is manufactured. And the reason why is because I believe that, and this is my opinion only, I believe that there is a force that a lot of these organizations, corporations are forcing people into the job market, creating less full-time positions, but creating more contract work. And the reason why is because full-time employees are expensive. So working for a US-based employer and you are a US-based worker, you have to understand, right? Inflation is crazy right now, and it has been for a while. So that means it's going to cost more. We're going to ask for more. We're going to request more. And in good faith, an organization has to at least give you a merit increase like every year, right? So when you forego hiring full-time employees and you move into a contract type situation, that's less that they have to pay in benefits. That's less liability for them as well, because there are certain laws, labor laws, like that they don't have to necessarily like worry about. And so I think that they're essentially just forcing many of us into a situation where, you know what? Yeah, we're going to create this manufactured job scarcity so that you don't find a full-time role and you have to go back into the workforce as a contractor so that way we can get the same work for less. Now, the second thing that I will say, and what I'm noticing, is that a lot of organizations, this users only really see this in customer service based type of organizations or departments, right? You have BPOs. This means that organizations are outsourcing the work. So when you call AT&T, T-Mobile, whoever on the phone, you get somebody who may be overseas, right? This doesn't mean that they can't do the job just as well as someone who is based in the US. But what it means is, again, instead of hiring 10 full-time employees for their contact center, they're hiring 50 for half the price of those 10. Okay. So they can hire literally like 20, 100 contract workers for like $2,000 overseas. In the US, that's 200,000. Right. So they're looking at it from the perspective of, yeah, like we still need labor. So don't be fooled. These companies are still hiring. Right. They're just not hiring they're not hiring full-time employees. They're hiring contractors. And the same, like the rules that would apply to hiring a full-time employee don't apply to a contract worker. That's my 2 cents. And I'm hoping that eventually this is something that we can sound the alarm on, because if they're not hiring us, like, what do we do? What do we do?
I've always wondered why entry-level jobs require like 3 to 5 years experience when it's entry-level, right? Because a job that is entry-level, you are entering. So the expectation should be that you don't have any experience and that you're going to be trained and you will learn on the job. So when I would go on LinkedIn and I would see all these jobs like, 2 years of experience, 3 years, 5 years of experience for an entry-level role, that never made sense to me. Because by the time someone has this many years of experience, they're not entry-level anymore. They're not junior talent. At that point, they're mid-level, they're senior, right? So it seems like a lot of companies are trying to hire mid-level, senior-level talent on a junior-level salary. So basically, they're trying to get senior-level people for a bargain. A couple days ago, I was watching this YouTube video. I cannot remember the name of the creator, but I will probably link the video in the comments. And she was explaining why entry-level jobs require all this experience and why they feel so hard to get now. To summarize what she talked about, now we're in a time where people do not stay at the same job for 10, 20, 30 years. I mean, heck, people don't even stay at the same job for 5 years, right? For the most part, people are landing a new job every 2 years, because you're just not going to increase your salary in the same way if you stay at your current job and try and get a raise. Even if you do get a raise, it's not going to be a whole lot compared to what you would get if you would just find another job elsewhere. In a nutshell, the reason why you'll see a lot of companies ask for 3 to 5 years of experience for an entry-level job is because they do not want the responsibility of training new talent. For them, it doesn't make sense to invest in training new people if they're just going to leave the company after a year or two, because then you've just lost all the investment that you made in that person, and now you have to train a new person. For these companies, it makes a lot more sense for them to train you up if you were to stay at the same company for like decades, right? Which is what people used to do. And that's why they package the 9-to-5 with all these different things like security, stability. They marketed the 9-to-5 with so many additional things to incentivize people to stay loyal, right? But now people are realizing that there's really no benefit to staying loyal. So now a lot of companies are like, well, if you want to leave after 2 years, that's fine. But for us to hire you, you're going to need to come with all this experience. You're going to come with such and such degree, because they don't want to take on the risk of investing in someone and then that person just leaves. So they'll tell you that you need XYZ degree to get XYZ job. So you go and get the degree, you go into debt for the degree, then you get the job, right? And that is if you get the job, right? Given the current market that we're in. Then you get the job and you're like, hold on, this is what I needed a whole master's degree for? The kind of work you're doing isn't lining up with the level of education. So now you're in a whole bunch of debt. You haven't seen the ROI from the degrees that everyone told you needed to get. And it's no one else's problem but yours. You know, we're in an employer's market now. So these companies really have their pick of the litter when it comes to talent and who they hire. Just because you have a master's degree doesn't mean you're going to outcompete everyone else. One of the videos I went kind of viral for a while ago, I was telling people that they don't need to go back to school, and some folks were trying to fight with me in the comments. Getting a master's degree to get an entry-level job just doesn't make sense to me, because by the time you have a whole graduate degree, you should be able to land something higher than an entry-level job. That doesn't make sense. Honestly, unless you're trying to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, that you will need a degree. But for all the other career paths out there, really think really hard about whether going back to school is the right move for you. A lot of you are going back to school because you don't know what else you want to do. You don't want to actually sit down and be an adult and figure out what you want to do with your life. So you would rather just delay the inevitable and go back to school. Because as long as you're in school, as long as you're a student, you don't have to figure out what you're doing with your life. You can just say, oh, I'm in school. But then the thing is, you're going to graduate and then you're still going to be stuck with the same problem. And you'll have an extra degree that you're not using. You'll have an extra degree and you're still struggling in the job market. We see a lot of people like that today. They've got master's degrees, struggling to even just get an entry-level job. I really need people to just stop thinking that getting more degrees is going to increase your chances of landing a better job or advancing your career. You'll see all these jobs that say, oh, degree required, degree required, degree required. But then the actual job itself is not aligned with that level of education. And I think it's really important to have this conversation because we can't change the system that we're in, okay? Things are the way that they are and we don't have any control over that. But we can control how we navigate the system. We can control the decisions that we make. And you first need to understand the system and how it works so that you can make decisions that are advantageous to you.
Seeing TikToks every fucking day about unemployment, bro. Do y'all know how it fucking feels to apply for a job that you're not even 2 fucking minutes away from by walk? I can see my job right now from my fucking house. I've been rained on trying to get this fucking job. I called them earlier. They're like, yeah, I can do an interview for you fucking today. Come back at 5 o'clock. It's 5:30 right now. I go to this job. Why the fuck is it so hard to get a job to the point where I'm literally standing there for 10 fucking minutes getting rained on at the fucking job? Just for these niggas to look at me through the fucking window, watching me getting rained on, and to tell me to come back tomorrow. Do y'all know how many times I've had to wait for tomorrow to come? And these motherfuckers will still not hire me. It is the worst fucking day possible. It has never rained this bad, and I feel like my prayers are never getting answered. To just get a fucking job. To the point where it's raining so fucking hard, all my clothes are wet. Talk about unemployment. Talk about how hard it is to get a fucking job. Asking God, begging God to fucking help me. Just to keep getting shut down over and over again. And yes, nigga, I'm making a fucking TikTok about it because there's nothing else for me to do. I spend all my fucking days sitting at the fucking house doing nothing. Doing absolutely nothing. So yes, this is a fucking mental breakdown on my fucking phone. Because of how hard it is out here. I'm a fucking college student. I pay my own fucking tuition. And it is still hard to get a fucking job out here. It don't make no fucking sense. Just to get rained on. While praying to God about finding me a job so I can provide for myself. So yes, I see everybody posting about how hard it is to get a fucking job. Look at me getting rained on. After this company just told me, oh yeah, we got you with an interview, come back in 30 minutes. I'm here at your door every day. My job is so close, this job is so close to my house. I am looking right at it from my house right now. Talk about being overqualified. Talk about not being qualified enough. I can see y'all from my house. That is how close I am to y'all. But y'all sit here and go through these applications and swear to God I'm not qualified. When I am right here, coming up every day, asking for a job. I've never done this. I've never captured so much fucking emotion. But y'all have no idea how hard it is out here to support yourself. This shit is absolutely fucking crazy. I'm at home every fucking day with my siblings that come home from school. Doing content creation, hoping to God I can just get the fuck out of here. Hoping to God I can support myself. And I would fucking be damned if no matter what I do, nothing is working. This shit is fucking ridiculous, y'all. To sit there waiting to cross the street and getting splashed on by cars constantly. Talk about being underqualified or overqualified or unemployed. This is the fucking worst times I've ever lived in. Just to pay for my fucking tuition and go back to school. Just to pay off this debt. Because I have to constantly take out my fucking Cash App borrow feature to fucking eat. Because I don't have any fucking money. Talk about struggle. Talk about being underqualified and unemployed. This is the fucking struggle right here.
6 figures is no longer enough. I don't know how y'all are surviving in the U.S. economy. I don't know how people are making it. For some reason, all of these videos keep popping up on my feed about people losing their jobs and can't sell their house, groceries are too high, they work in 3 jobs and it's still not enough. And it's just like, I don't even search this stuff, but the algorithm must know, like, it's getting hard. It's getting hard for all of us. Even if you make 6 figures, even if you make 100,000, 200,000, like, it's literally not enough because it seems like everything continues to go up. Everything except our salaries continue to go up. So I just want to know, let's have a conversation in the comment section. Who is doing okay? Who is struggling? Who is at wit's end? Who is like, I'm this close to living out of my car. I'm this close to... And then the thing is, it's a domino effect, because as soon as people get to their wit's end point to where it's like, I'm willing to do whatever I gotta do to survive, to feed my family. And this is why you have the domino effect of all the violence, all the this and that. It's because everything is trickling down. We literally cannot survive. And if you have not invested, if you don't have any savings, if you don't have any assets, if you've been living paycheck to paycheck before all of this, Now you're going into debt, or some people can't even borrow money. Like, we are in literal hard times. If you are not in the United States, let me know where you are and how the economy is for you. But we're in bad times. We're in hard times with the United States economy, the job market. I'm so grateful that I have a job, that I make the money that I do, but none of it is guaranteed. None of it's guaranteed. We could wake up tomorrow and be like, you know, all these people getting laid off back to back. I've seen videos. People are like getting laid off for 4 times in 2 years. It's really bad. How y'all holding up?
I just want to get ahead in life. I just want to get ahead in life. And I'm doing all the things that we're supposed to be doing. We're working, we're paying our bills, we're barely paying bills. Our utility payment a month is almost as much as our mortgage. Sometimes it's as much as our mortgage. So we're just barely paying bills. And heaven forbid something fucking come up. Like needing a tooth fucking pulled. I know you see that. But it's okay. Because my husband has a really good job. And he has insurance. What a fucking joke. It's okay, guys. We're doing so good in life that we're making more money than we've ever made in our life. It's okay, guys, because we're all covered on insurance. It's okay, guys, because we should be making enough money with our health coverage and our dental insurance that we should be able to pay our fucking bills, and we should be able to pay our fucking groceries. We should be able to go to the dentist and use our fucking dental insurance. No, it's fine. It's fine. We have the dental insurance, but that'll be $800 fucking dollars to have that tooth pulled. Because the insurance isn't actually going to pay for it. I have to pay for it up front. I have to pay the entire bill up front, and then the insurance might reimburse me. And I said, let's go ahead and schedule an appointment, right? We'll go ahead and put you on our schedule. We just need you to pay the total today. Today. It's
so, like, Americans are bracing themselves for what's coming, because for so many people, life has become like so expensive. And I think one of the biggest frustrations right now is that people are working, people are trying to like be responsible, and they're trying to make good decisions, and yet it still feels like they're failing further behind. Like every day you can go to a grocery store and you feel it immediately. Like you look at the prices of meat, you look at the eggs and vegetables, you look at like basic household products, and then you start thinking like, how is a family supposed to afford all that? And it's not just about buying luxurious anymore. People aren't saying I can't afford the newest phone or going on vacation. They are saying they can't afford basic needs. And perhaps that's one of the most frustrating parts of trying to eat healthy, because eating healthy has increasingly started to feel like a luxury. You walk into a grocery store and you see organic produce, healthier food with simpler ingredients, and these products without additives or preservatives, and you look at the prices and you just get shocked. And sometimes the prices difference is shocking compared to the ones with too high ingredients. And one product has a long list of ingredients that you can barely pronounce. Like other products have simpler lists in them, but the cost of that food is going to be so expensive. And that is what people are saying, like we have had enough, because telling people to eat healthy is starting to sound like something that can never happen, because like a family is already struggling to pay rent, keep the lights on, and like put gas in their car, make mortgage payments and all those expenses, and then telling that family to simply buy food doesn't solve the problem. Like, to buy better food and not being able to afford good organic food, and at some point people have to make choices, and those choices can be incredibly like difficult. Maybe like you buy the cheaper food because you need to stretch your grocery budget, and maybe you like skip the fresh produce because frozen or produced food costs less, and maybe you need like whatever is on sale, even if it's just not what you wanted, but it's the only thing you can afford. And every administration comes in talking about making life more affordable and strengthening the economy and all that, and people really listened and they expected so much. Like after the last election, they expected like food prices are going to drop, like the quality of life is going to like be better, and that is what people are voting for, but they're not seeing that actually life has become worse than it was, like here in America. And you can tell about economic statistics, and let's like if you talk about like economic statistic, you can talk about markets, employment numbers, and gpt and all those big economic indicators, but ordinary people experience the economy differently. Like they experience it when they're standing at the checkout counter, like even when they're getting paid, like they experience it. And when they realize that the grocery basket used to cost one amount, now costs more, they experience it, and they have to put something back because the total is higher than they expected. Like you can imagine you're going to a store and something you're used to buying, and now it costs like 20 times more. That is just insane, because if someone technically has a job, that doesn't necessarily mean like they feel financially secure. A person can be employed and still be struggling, you know, and family can be doing everything they are told, working hard and budgeting, and still feel like they are losing the grounds. So guys, what do you think about this video? Do you think it's okay what's happening to us? So please leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.